Alright, this is getting completely ridiculous. On the topic of Pokemon Sun and Moon, I don't even know where to begin with this. I just hope that it is not a proper game in the Pokemon series. Like a game similar to that of Colosseum, Guild of Darkness, the Pokemon Ranger series. I want it to be a side game, alright? Because this is utterly ridiculous. Nintendo is doing to Pokemon what you know who did to freaking Call of Duty. Alright? I don't even know their name because I don't play Call of Duty. But still, they're ruining it. They're completely butchering it. Yeah, okay. It really all started with Pokemon. Me and my general decline of liking Pokemon, so to speak. And this is completely new. I did not write a script for this or anything like I usually do. But I was okay with the fairy types. At first, I was kind of distant about it because it was a new type and it was late into the series, so they probably should have had that before. But I understand that it was a proper balance to dragon types because they were getting a bit too overpowered. But what they did with Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon, alright? The first thing that I saw about it were the new Pokemon. I personally think that they're a bit unoriginal, but I'm okay with that. I am completely okay with that. I personally started in Johto, and I actually think that the most lackluster series of Pokemon, or set of Pokemon, would be the X and Y, and I personally think that the current lineup for Sun and Moon is perfectly fine, aside from some points. Alright? I'm okay with Executor, and I'm okay with plant types getting their own Alola region remakes, because they absolutely flourish there. Plant and bug types, alright? Simply plant and bug types. There is no reason whatsoever for a fire type to get an ice type remake in an island near the equator. That is completely ridiculous. Alright? There was no reason to change their typing. This is outrageous. Arcanine and Growlithe are probably up there with my favorite Pokemon, alright? I wasn't much of a Vulpix and Ninetales fan myself, but I understood that they were fire types, and they were, in the early generations, they were crucial for having a balanced team to go against ice, grass, bug, and a majority of other Pokemon weak to fire type. And they did extremely well at that. There was, from the context that I read about Sun and Moon, there was no reason to turn Arcanine, or Vulpix, and Ninetales into ice and fairy types. Yeah, their designs are cool, but it's stupid, alright? Alright, I'm glad we got that through. If you don't like me talking about this kind of stuff, leave now, alright? I'm sorry, this is my personal rant. I've been a fan of Pokemon since I was like 6. Okay? My first Pokemon game was literally Pokemon Silver. And I got it as a gift from my sister's current fiancé, who is going to get married to my sister soon. After that, I ended up getting Pokemon Soul Silver. After that, I got Pokemon Colosseum, Gale of Darkness, and then I got Soul Silver. After that, I got Pokemon White, and then Pokemon Black 2. Then I got Pokemon Fire Red, and I think that's all of the Pokemon games that I currently have. Wait, there's also the some of the the Pokemon Rangers. But this is ridiculous. They are changing everything about Pokemon for the worse, in my opinion. Alright, there were so many things established, and in my opinion, I think that they didn't need to change anything. Yeah, there could have been a few tweaks or move tweaks, or maybe some, uh, let's say, type changes. And I'm not talking about major ones. I'm talking about like adding bug type to a grass type that looks like a bug and has bug type moves. You know, that is what I'm talking about. Not completely changing a Pokemon to a completely 100% different type. I hope to freaking Gaben that this is not canon. I still have my hopes, alright? And I've also been hearing rumors that Arcanine, one of my favorite Pokemon, is going to be changed to water type. Let that sink in, literally. Just let it sink in that they are turning Pokemon to the opposite type. What do you want for Alligator to be? Are you going to change for Alligator, give it yellow and freaking lightning rods, and make an electric type? An electric flying type, maybe? I don't know. You can't just do that out of the blue. No, you can't. That's not something you're supposed to do. Seriously. If you don't want Pokemon, give it to some other people, alright? You're just throwing the series away. In my honest opinion, if they were running out of ideas for the children, maybe they should have shifted over to a more mature audience. Something that I really don't think that they realize is that a good majority of their audience is actually adults, similar to My Little Pony. Now, My Little Pony was established to be a children's show, and it simply cannot be anything else, but the points that they bring up in Pokemon, you know, death, and just all-around fighting Pokemon and criminal group activities, that can be taken to a whole nother level that I would love to see. But they just don't do it because their minds are set to children, and I hate it. I hate it. Why not have a Pokemon series where it's literally, you can die? You have the option to literally have your Pokemon kill another person. Maybe you'll get arrested. Maybe you won't actually get money off of beating people, but you can take quests to catch a certain Pokemon for someone or something like that. These are just options. I actually like the current system of making money, but oh my god. Oh man. I wasn't even going to play. Wow. I wasn't even going to plan on purchasing Pokemon Sun and Moon because I don't have a very good 3DS. The joystick doesn't work. But what they're doing to Pokemon at this point in time is just butchering it. I don't know what they're on. Maybe it's the legalization of marijuana all over the world. But this is outrageous. They are changing too much. Just flat out. I appreciate balances that simply make more sense, but changing a fire type to a water and ice type boggles my mind. But if it is a proper Pokemon game, I don't want any rites of passages. That's something you'd see in a Pokemon Ranger game. I want gyms. Let's say you need a certain number of badges before you are allowed access to another island. Right? Let's say you can encounter any gym at a time, and since there are 8 gyms in the Elite Four, you could have 4 gyms on one island, 2 gyms on another, and then 2 gyms on another, and that would make for 3 islands, and the 4th island could have the Elite Four. And you could take each of those gyms on at any point in time that the island that you're on. Let's say you're on the 1st island, you can literally go to any gym, any 4 gyms that are on that island, and depending on how many badges you have, you face different Pokemon at different levels. Makes sense, because the more badges you have, the more experience you have, which means they'll go after you with higher level Pokemon. See? You see? Yeah, it makes sense. Not like Nintendo wants that. Please, if you guys disagree with me on anything whatsoever, just tell me, alright? Because I will defend this point until Pokemon dies. I feel like this is the fallout of Pokemon, and don't even get me started with Pokemon Go and what they've done to that. This was on the topic of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Counter-Strike will be coming out soon enough, but there has been a small issue with my mouse that I need to fix before I get any of the footage that I need for that. I hope you all have a nice day, and I hope that they don't mess up this game to all hell. Or should I say Ubisoft?